All right, everybody, let's take a look. Today is Sunday, September 26, 2021. The futures market's going to open up here in about 20 minutes or so. We're looking at the upper left-hand corner here, the E-mini S&P 500 futures. Now, you can see the last 3 days were Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of last week. We had some pretty good price action, all 3 green days. Friday was red most of the day and then finished up green in the last couple hours or so of trading. Now, you'll notice there in the upper right-hand corner by the candlesticks, I have October 7 or 8 is the cycle midpoint. So we're not there yet, right? But usually, now I'm not saying this is going to happen, but normally or frequently what will happen is the closer we get to the midway point of a cycle, the pricing action will begin to calm down and it'll just kind of move. You won't have as big of range. So the range of the candlesticks tends to diminish. Okay, so we're going to keep a close eye on this. Obviously, that's quite a ways off still. Let's see. The midway 7th would be, like all going into next week, actually the end of next week, okay, would be the midway point into this cycle. So I expect like the first week of October, maybe even the second week of October, prices are going, the range of the candlesticks probably going to get smaller. They're not going to be as large. The closer you get to that midpoint in the cycle, that's kind of common. Now, we may see some price increases, but slowly, kind of moderate price increase. There might be some mixed in red days and green days in there. Okay, you might see the candlestick action kind of moving a little bit sideways, but kind of upward on the average. That would be my best guess. Now, looking down at the stochastic momentum index, we got really good separation going on between the fast and slow line, the blue and the red line. That's good. That's telling us pricing is probably going to continue to go up as we're gaining momentum, right? We're getting momentum. Money's coming in. And Friday's candlestick is, it's decent. The price, it finished, near the top. That's a bit of a hammer. So that's, a little bit of a concern that we could get, we could get price action that's unexpected, sideways or down. That can happen coming off a hammer, but so we'll just have to wait to see how that goes. Below the stochastic momentum index, the Big Daddy, I'm keeping an eye on the Big Daddy now. It's not like urgent or anything, but if the Big Daddy gets above the 350 line, okay, if it gets above that and starts really going up and getting especially above 400, then that would be something we want to keep a close on. Now, we're a long way from that right now. Friday closed, the Big Daddy closed at 293, so definitely nothing to really be concerned about, or not even concerned, but it's not an indicator that's making me take notice, because the Big Daddy forecast strength is really when it starts getting near the top. That's where we start to look at that indicator more and pay attention to it more. Below that, at the bottom, we got the VIX. You can really see that classic tapering off of volatility as it comes way down. Now, it's still slightly elevated. Friday it ended at 17 3/4, so that's still slightly elevated, but it certainly has come down significantly. But I did notice back at the beginning of September, like maybe the 7th or 8th, somewhere around there, and then again right around, I don't know, I guess about, what is that, maybe the 12th or the 11th. When was that peak in the volatility? It was on the 20th, actually. So we had a peak in the VIX on the 20th, and we had a peak back there on the 10th. And that's a double peak that happened one after another within 10 calendar days of each other. Okay? You get that double peak. Yeah, one is much lower than the other, but you always want to, if you look back to July 8th, and then again on July 19th, the same thing happened. You had a double peak. It was lower, was much lower, but you had that double peak kind of volatility going on. And if you watch after that, you'll notice the price action kind of moves sideways, and starts to kind of trying to move up. So we got to really pay attention to this, to the price action, to the volatility, to the momentum. We really got to pay attention to this to see what is it going to do as it approaches the middle of this cycle. That's really, really important, because that's going to help us out in knowing the likelihood of what's going to happen in the next cycle, or even the second half of this cycle. Are we going to get a left-hand translation of this cycle? Are we going to get an ideal cycle? I'm talking about the current cycle we're in. Are we going to get a right-hand? If we get a right-hand translation cycle, then that's generally, depending on where the price is at when it happens, but generally that would mean strength. If we get a left-hand translation cycle, that generally would mean weakness. If you get it in the middle, well, that's kind of, then we have to kind of pay attention to see which way it's going to go. Okay, so all that's really, really important, to pay attention to what is the pricing action, the momentum, the volatility, what is it all going to do as we approach the middle of this cycle, which is approximately somewhere around October 7th or 8th, or, give or take a few days beyond that, okay? That's really, really important. So I'm going to be paying close attention. Now, far as today, for those that want to know, well, what's today going to do? Well, like I've always said, I don't have a crystal ball, guys. Okay, I'm not Mr. Crystal Ball guy that just says, hey, this is what's going to happen, and it's going to happen. But my best guess, and it is a guess, it's a bit of an educated guess, but my best guess is that we'll have decent range again. I think we'll have decent range in the candlestick. If I had to pick between red and green, just keeping this simple, I'd go with green. Okay. And I don't really know what is it going to be. Is it going to be does it close above its open? I don't know. I honestly don't know. This time frame right in here, as we move closer and closer to the middle of the cycle, it's really difficult to know, what the candlesticks are going to do, because generally they start to really cool off. Okay, if we get a huge candlestick today, guys, tonight going into Monday, and it just blasts off, that's going to be definitely a sign of strength. Okay, if we get blast off, if we get a huge candlestick, then that's a sign of strength. Okay, especially on the left-hand side of the cycle. If this thing takes off and we get a bit like I don't know, let me just pick like a huge day, something above 80, and I'm talking about range. If we get 70, 80, anything of that or higher, that's a pretty big day. Then we could say, okay, there's strength on the left side of this cycle, and that's a good sign. If we just get this sideways kind of day, then that's not necessarily weakness, but it isn't. Then we really have to wait. Like I already said, we really got to wait to see what this thing does as it continues to approach the middle of the cycle. Okay, so my best guess, green day. Decent range, but I'm unsure about whether the close will be higher than the open. That I don't know. That's my best guess. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, everybody, click that subscribe button. As you know, I always share my profit loss with everybody. Whenever I close a position, I'll continue to do that. Okay? Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind, click that little bell so you'll get notified of the videos as I put them out. Hope you all having a great, great Sunday, and happy trading. We'll talk to you again real soon next time.